We finally have an API in Marvel Strike Force. What does it allow you to do? We have an update that also dropped in Marvel Strike Force. Did it do anything? Cosmic Crucible Week 2, new Datamines. We got it all this week on your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update this week. I'm joined by my brother, DorkyDad. And if you're ready for it, DorkyDad, tell him what to do, my brother.
Let's go check our inventory.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Maniacs. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. This is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this video every week, and if you have not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button for at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. This week, in the update, I'm joined by my brother, DorkyDad, and we have a lot to discuss. We have a new API that just dropped as we were recording this. We have Cosmic Crucible Week 2, some tips that we learned from Week 1. We got some new data mines, and an update that just dropped in Marvel Strike Force. But DorkyDad, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Valley. How's it going, my brother?
It is going very, very well. I am still confused about this API that the update for it, the announcement of it just dropped as we were recording this. So we're actually starting this whole thing all over again. But let's take a look at what was just said. Happy to announce an API for Marvel Strike Force now available to the public. All players access to the dashboard, hub.marvelstrikeforce.com/dashboard. Right now, we couldn't figure out what this does. It goes here, it doesn't really go anywhere yet. So it may not be totally live right now, even though it's announced it being live. There's an FAQ on the official Discord and dedicated channel where you can ask questions. I have not looked at that yet. I couldn't find it. There's a lot of channels in there. So I guess there should be one labeled the API. The first step now, it's not a full API for a whole roster. Import functionality is now available on msf.gg, which allows you to import your player profile card. The information you can see on your in-game profile page. This functionality can be accessed via the public API. And we were trying to find out how to access the public API. It doesn't look like it's live yet. Were you able to find anything different than what I saw here?
No, I hit the same screen you hit there, and then when I went to MSFGG, nothing looked different there either.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure on this. There wasn't anything new, and I looked at the border, the menu section. There was no think about APIs that I saw, so maybe it's not live yet, but it should be. It should be. And even though you could just see our inventory right now, or it looks like we're going to see our inventory is working, how excited are you for this?
Yeah, it's going to help me plan my resources better, which is going to be great, right? It's definitely a step in a good direction for helping us manage what is, at its core, a resource management game. As far as, character shards, teams, building resources, stuff like that. I think this is going to be pretty dope. And if you know the guys at msf.gg, they're solid dudes, and I think it's going to be well done. So I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, they're good guys, and I'm looking forward to when we can actually see our inventory. That's going to help with planning for dark dimensions. That's going to help for planning a lot. And then the third step, inventory is the second step. I actually misread that. I thought it was live. It should be live right now. That's coming. What we could do is our player profile right now, so not be able to access a lot, but the inventory screen, and it gets the big one, our full roster data. That is not here yet, but it should still happen within 2022. What is that going to allow you to do? When we get all our inventory, all our full roster, how much is that going to help you as someone that plays War very, very competitively?
Yeah, it's going to help me definitely organize my thoughts, make sure I have the right teams, the right counters, everything just in one go. And for the new mode, Cosmic Crucible, a lot of criticism was that in, say, the other game, I don't know if I can say it, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
You can say whatever game you want, bro.
Okay, so in that game, in this similar mode, you're able to look at your opponent's roster. Well, It looks like if we have the player PID, which you can easily get in your opponents in Cosmic Crucible, we might be able to go in and look at their roster before the match, see what they have, and adjust our defense and offense accordingly. So this could add another element to Cosmic Crucible, which is pretty dope.
What about for the original game mode that we have? I like that for Cosmic Crucible. That would be really good for planning. That would be good for content streaming. I like that. Yeah. What about War, though? Will this significantly impact you in War, looking at all your opponents, or is this you just find a counter and then beat them?
Well, I think with War, it would be too broad to go in unless you're in a situation like I am, where there's really only one alliance in my war zone worth looking into, which is Mutiny. So I can go in and look at all of Boomer's friends and then adjust and plan according to that. So it could help for the super high end, but when you're facing a different war opponent every single war, I think that'd be a little bit information overload to try and plan it out like that.
Yeah, maybe for some alliance leaders that are really hardcore in the game, say, all right, do we go this side of the flight deck or we go this side of the flight deck? Which is the weaker opponent? Maybe in a situation like that. Or which person in the barracks do we attack if we're trying to drill down in that might help. But yeah, I like this. This is all positive. More information, more public information, the better. Hey, but DorkyDad, not only did we get an API this week, I got something very special in my account this week. I don't know if you got it. You want to see what I got?
I want to see what you got.
All right, let's see. This is super exciting, brother. I unlocked the raids. I unlocked the Blitz, and I got some more Wolverine shards. I was able to get the Wolverine shards. How awesome is that, brother?
I'm so jealous of your Wolverine shards. It's been a while since I haven't had them at 7
Look
stars.
at these. I did this just so I can show you. I didn't claim this. I held off in that temptation just so I can show you. And I got Blitz unlocked. How much grinding can I do now, brother?
Yeah, you're set for this Wong event for sure.
Oh my God, I could grind. So happy, so overjoyed. But in all seriousness, DorkyDad, we had an update dropping this week. We had update 6.1.2, and new in this release is a store update. We weren't able to open multiple orbs for some orbs. That is now back, but it's supposed to have a safeguard in place to prevent accidental bulk purchases, but as you know, we've seen many screenshots in the Envoy chat that this is not working. You can still purchase multiple orbs with cores. What is going on here? Was this update even necessary if it did nothing? That was the major thing that it was supposed to do.
Well, they say memory usage for Blitz is down and the backend code improved. That's stuff that we can't measure. We don't actually see if that's happening because people are still reporting crashes, still reporting this and that. And yes, you can absolutely still mass buy orbs with cores with no prompt warning that, hey, you're about to drop 6,000 cores on ability T2 materials. So I don't know what this did. It did send everybody, or at least some people, those messages that you got. A person in my alliance thought they were getting banned because it sent them the old warning from when there was the Silver Surfer multiple purchases bug. And they sent a message saying like, we take our game seriously, and then cheaters will be. And so he thought it was directed at him.
I got like 2 or 3 of those messages when I got all my raids unlocked and my Blitz unlocked. I was so happy. I got a bunch of them. I thought, oh, this is a new message. They're doing something about these cheaters. They were addressing them like, oh wait, I got another one. This is from years ago. This is from a while ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty awkward.
This is weird. I took a screenshot of it. I was so happy, but then I realized what it was and I deleted it. All right. So I don't know what changed. I don't know if anything is changed on this, but maybe there's some backend code improvements that are like slightly reducing the amount of crashes. But I think this is the major one, the accidental purchases, but it's still inactive. So be careful, guys, especially the orbs that you could purchase multiple ones. Be careful with your clicks. Wait till everything loads. Make sure there's not an accidental freeze so you don't actually click it a few times because as far as I know, there's no confirmation on this stuff.
Yeah, like Brian would say, guys, hands off the phone.
Hands up. Yeah, it's your fault. Exactly. All right. One of the best game modes, in my opinion, that was recently launched is back. I guess it never went away. The season week 2 is coming back. Now, before we get into the bugs and all the things that were going on, we have a whole separate section for that. What are your overall thoughts on Cosmic Crucible? Rewards versus time, the fun factor. What was your experience with Cosmic Crucible? With
so
not counting the bugs.
Yeah. I'll start with the fun factor. I had so much fun doing this. My opponents loaded up their defense. Days 1 and 2 was pretty tame. They were going for the offensive heaviness. So I kind of steamrolled through them. Then they struggled with my defense. And on day 3, the guy really loaded it up. Oh. And that was actually a lot of fun. It was stressful, but I still pulled out the victory. And then I got the rewards. So I had a lot of fun doing the mode. I had a lot of fun making those videos, everything like that we do, right?
Yeah.
And then I got the rewards, and I think it took me 2 days to go through them. And so, because it only happens once a week, by the looks of it, right? We're getting 3 matches.
Yeah.
It seems that we're not getting as much as we would in, say, like a mode like War, where War happens 3 times a week. We get a little bit more to play around with.
Yeah. And now, do you think that they're going to increase this later, or do you think this rewards reduced because we're actually getting teal gear and there's no real way to get a lot of that teal stuff in War? Where do you think they're going with this future? Because this is the preseason. This is not the normal Cosmic Crucible. I guess this is not even season 1 yet.
Yeah, I think like most stores, this is the first iteration, and maybe 6 months from now, they'll double what you get for the same price, or they'll double what the orbs drop, like they did with the War orbs, I think for season 3 of the War orbs, Gear Tier 14 stuff, when they doubled it. I think we'll see something like that, which is kind of scary when you think about the hoarding implications. But I do think that they'll improve on it in the coming future. I don't want to say near future, though.
Okay, so you think once the normal season launch, the rewards will get better than what we have in the preseason, or sometime down the road? Sometime
down the road.
Down the road. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was actually fearful that they might go the other direction when the normal season launches. It's not like our first strike, not like our preseason. They're going to reduce them. So I hope they're right and they actually increase them and not tighten them up as the normal season comes around.
Yeah, they kind of suck.
All right. But there was some bugs. We had some good rewards, but we had some bugs as well. One of them was, like you said, when you actually win the match, getting more points than your opponent, more victory points, you would lose the match, lose the trial. What happened with that?
Well, the official reporting was that if the match was close in power, something was going wrong. And awarding the person who had less victory points the win. And that doesn't really make sense from some of the screenshots we saw, right? Like we had that one screenshot where the person did literally nothing. They didn't do a single attack and they got placed first. So there was something off there. And who knows what it'll be. They said that they've isolated and fixed it. We're going to find out really quickly tomorrow.
I agree with you. It seemed very random. Some people that did more attacks got more points. Some people that had higher TCPs, and then other people, some people just got thrown out the window. It was just totally random. Yeah. We got some rewards. Some compensation for this game mode being screwed up. What did you think of the compensation? Was it enough? Was it not enough? Did you like the fact that it went out to everybody? Because I don't think my bracket got affected. It looked like the people that won actually got the victories. The people that lost actually got the losses. So I got this stuff. Do you think it should have went just to people that were affected by these weird scores, or do you like the fact that it went to everybody? And what did you think the actual amounts that we got?
I like the fact that it went to everybody because the difference between winning and losing is nowhere near this 6,400 or this 1,400, right? Like, that's nowhere near.
Very true. Very true.
What they should do is they should reset everybody's, I don't know what you would call it, ELO or their points, because the people that lost, they said like it's not going to have a big effect. Well, it still kind of feels bad.
Are they taking ELO into account right now, or are they using just TCP? I'm not sure how the matchmaking is being done.
So it starts with TCP, and then from here it works into ELO. So like
I won
mine, so I got like 16 plus points. The people I beat lost like 16 points. And I'm assuming that's how it goes ELO. It's kind of like War.
But
League,
did they confirm that's what's happening in the preseason, or are we just getting those ELO rankings and then it's going to go live in the regular season? The Cerebro's message was a little confusing. It seemed like they weren't taking that into account, but as we know, with Cerebro's message, it's not always accurate. So I'm not really sure what to make of what he said there.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully what you're insinuating is correct. And when we are done with preseason, everybody gets a clean slate again. It goes back to starting with TCP, and we use that as our launch point. And if that happens,
you wanted to totally reset their first season based on TCP and then judge it.
Yeah, like keep the rewards and reset it, because the people that should have won but lost, you say it doesn't affect them in the long run, but it still feels bad, and it's like a loss on their record and mentally, and that's not cool, right? Especially for ultra competitive people. So let the rewards stand. Just reset everybody's starting position. That's all.
Gotcha. I like that. I don't think games have done that. I don't think Scopely's done that in the past. Now, I talked about this a little bit in the beginning. We've had some lessons from season 1 to I keep calling it different, from week 1 to week 2. What are some of the lessons that you learned? Did you switch up your defense? Are you switching up your offense teams? Do these room bonuses? Did you place people in room bonuses or use attacks? What are some of the big lessons that you took away from week 1 in Cosmic Crucible?
How slow down affects the room 4 there. So especially with the interactions with a team like Infinity Watch. So Infinity Watch, they spawn with Safeguard, they spawn with Immunity. So you go in there and you think you're not going to get affected by it. But at the beginning of your turn, Safeguard falls off. And so that room affects the speed up that Nebula and Gamora get. So instead of you would think you're safe for that first turn, immune to this slowdown mechanic, that doesn't happen, right? So this room, super impactful. And then like Black Order, you go in there, Proxima and Thanos both get completely obliterated by this debuff, and then you can beat them with very mediocre teams. So slowdown, I think, was the room that threw people off the most.
Gotcha. Yeah, this one confused me as well. I wasn't sure if it was working correctly. I didn't record my battle, so I didn't go back and see exactly what happened, but I noticed some of my characters that I thought should not have been affected by this were. And Nebula was a good example as well, because I think she got I think she had a disrupted on her for some reason. I don't know. I may be remembering that wrong. Like I said, I didn't correct it, but this one had some issues there. All right, what room surprised you the most? Was it slow down, or was it some of these other ones that you thought would be nothing and it was, or was slowdown the biggest surprise for you?
Well, slowdown was the biggest surprise for me.
Okay.
But looking at how my attackers attacked my rooms, I think Cosmic Catastrophe was the biggest surprise for a lot of people who maybe didn't read it all the way through. Because I saw a lot of people attacking me with Black Order, Infinity Watch, and just getting rolled over. I think I had Shadowlands in there because I don't have Wakandan built. So like my Shadowlands was beating Infinity Watch, beating Black Order, beating an Eternal team. Like it was kind of silly.
This is a rough one for Infinity Watch, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then I was looking at that and I was kind of chuckling like, ha ha ha, watch my videos, guys. Like, let's go.
I actually think I said screw it in one of the wars and just, I'm so overpowered with my Infinity Watch. This is not going to matter. And it mattered. I'm like, they're so overpowered. It doesn't, and it makes a difference. Wakandians, the big new Cosmic Crucible team. Mm-hmm. Did they surprise you on any of their defensive stands that you thought would be easier?
So I only got to fight them one time by the third opponent I had, and he had a very big Wakandan team. Okay. I ended up doing a 100k punch up with my Young Avengers on stage 6, and I got through it. So stage 6 does that time dampening, so Black Panther and Okoye didn't do their time meter manipulation stuff. But also at the same time, my Squirrel Girl didn't get her speed bar bonus when allies dropped. So it was very weird. I got through it, and I can't determine if that's a function of Young Avengers just being way better than Wakandans, even when Wakandans have that Crucible bonus. Yeah. Or if time dampening stage just affected the Wakandan team more than it affected the Young Avengers. But I was very scared of them the entire time. It was very close in that matchup, so I think Wakandan definitely have value in this mode. I just don't have resources to build them personally.
Yeah, that's exactly why I have them on defense, because I think they're gonna be annoying for my opponents, but I don't really want to build them up at all. Just they're like you said in the beginning, the rewards very similar for winning and losing. I got my resources dedicated to other teams, but I think there's still a lot more that all of us need to discover with this mode. What's the best teams? What's the best counters? What are the best rooms? What are some of the little tricks? And then to actually see if this is working properly.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about, do you have Dormammu yet?
I don't, unfortunately. That was tough. That was tough having to kill everybody twice with Dormammus.
Yeah. Well, you have Darkhold, right? So do you have your Darkhold on offense, I assume?
They're on offense, yes.
So I found my Darkhold is on defense, and I have a separate Dormammu team on defense as well. Okay. Because I found the way the victory points work on the attempt bonus, forcing a loss on the enemy was way more valuable. And say I went up against somebody like you who kept your Darkhold on offense and you just mirror match and you still one-shot my team. Yeah. Cool for you. But that made you innately have a weaker defense, right? Because instead of having Darkhold on defense, you had I don't know, web warriors, symbiotes, whatever. And then I would just get better efficiency points because you beating my Darkhold on a mirror match took you 15 turns. Me beating your symbiotes took 2 turns, right?
Yeah.
So I found that this mode heavily favored loading up your defense. And then if both people loaded up defense, it just became a gong show about who would get through it quickly enough or easily enough. So I thought that was very interesting and almost a bit worrisome that if defense is going to be that favorable in this mode, what's that going to lead to down the road when we have a bunch of different Crucible teams and everyone's throwing them on defense, right? This unlimited X-Men goes on defense. Like, what's going to beat that in this mode? That kind of gives me a little bit of pause, but I still love the mode as it is right now.
So immediately when you said Darkhold on defense, like, what can beat that? Because normally when I see an arena, I'm using Darkhold or some combination with other Darkhold characters. What do you see? What do you use when you see that on defense?
So I had to do a Dormhold team, and I had my.
Like, if I don't have Dormammu,
yeah,
I don't have Dormammu. What do I do?
It'll be very similar, right? And it's going to be more than one hit. I think my first hit, I went in with Eternals, got destroyed, but I hit the Dormammu. No more resin. Sorry about the noise there. Second hit, I went in with Weapon X, and I killed Doctor Strange and Agatha. And then I went in with a third hit, and I used Infinity Watch. So I ended up using 3
Holy
teams
crap!
to beat that.
3 like meta teams to beat that.
Yeah, but
and a
I got through
Dormammu.
it. Yeah, but I got through it. So that's why I'm a little worried about this mode leaning towards defense heavy. But
I don't know if I can get through that if I place that. I'm not. Maybe when I get Dormammu, I can brave like that.
Well, I'll tell you, and I'm not going to name the person I fought against. I had my Darkhold in one room. I had Dormammu, New Warriors in another room.
Was it mobile game? Was it mobile gamer?
No, but I'm looking forward to that fight.
Okay.
I'm definitely looking forward to that fight. So I
don't think I'll ever fight him. His TCP is so much higher than mine.
Oh, you just got to win a lot. You just climb up, Valley. No problem.
If they're using the ELO, we still don't know if they're using ELO yet or they're going to implement that later.
Yeah, it might be a little climb. But yeah, so I had those 2 rooms separate, and the guy who loaded his defense, he had to face those 2 teams. He fought them each 2 times, lost both, and he did 0 attacks in the Crucible from there on.
Okay.
Yeah, he scored 7,000 points total. He didn't even try my easier rooms. He just was like, I'm not clearing this guy. F it, threw his phone at the wall, I guess, and that was it. So it's
all right. So you get to them tap before they even start the match. I like that.
That's it.
I
wouldn't roll with you. I wouldn't roll with you. You tap me out like that.
All right. Yeah. So I like it. Hopefully, they fixed the bugs in week 2. I thought it was a very good, positive game mode. I mean, we're still talking strategies here. We still haven't figured this thing out, and I love that kind of stuff. All right, but bugs. It wasn't just in Cosmic Crucible. It was also in Blitz. What the hell is going on with Blitz? Not Blitz wins. Blitz losses. We're awarding A-Force emblems for about a little over 2 hours on, I believe it was Sunday. This is your screenshot right here.
Yeah, look at that dirty hack.
You are so lucky. You're so lucky. I didn't get any of these. I was like, I don't care about the Blitz. I'm going to do it later that night. And then I found out, oh, shoot, I should have been blitzing and not winning, losing.
Yeah. So, and this is for a sim loss. And when I found out, I was already halfway through my rotation. So I was trying to lose sim loss. And then someone came to me and said, manual lose. So I did a manual loss. It doesn't show that you get the emblems, but if you go and look at it, you got 25 instead of 23.
Dude.
So, yeah. So some people, you have 40 team roster right now, right?
Yes.
Some people were able to do the rotation right at 8 o'clock or around 8:15, 8:20, lose everything, get 1,000 points. And then they did it again at 10, 20, 10, 25, another 1,000. And then by 10:30, they closed the goal. They closed the hole, rather. So, I mean, you know, if something's going to get them to log in at 7 or at a Sunday at 10 o'clock at night, it's going to be something like this that benefits us, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
So this was a bug that benefited the players. The Cosmic Crucible one, obviously, I guess went both ways, but this was fixed within 2 hours. The Cosmic Crucible one was not. It was addressed. We did get the compensation for it, although this bug, I think, was a lot more effective. It affected a lot more players because of these A-Force milestones. Nothing said, no announcement yet. Do you think we're going to get compensation for this? The players that didn't take advantage of this. I guess this is an exploit, so this is all right in Scopely's mind. You don't have nothing to worry about. You're not.
Hope it's okay.
This is an exploit. They've said very specifically in the past. Exploits are fine. Cheats, bugs, cheats and hacks
APK.
are bad. So yeah,
Right.
APK is all that. You're fine, dude. Anybody that does this, you're fine. What is everybody that didn't gonna get this gonna get? What do you think is a fair thing, and will they even do it?
Well, because there's a leaderboard, and because the rewards in the Wong event they're gigantic, right? You look at those. Sorry, it's not Wong, it's the A-Force, right? So you look at.
There's so many events. I understand how you get confused.
It's like 50 running at once. But it's so impactful, and though this number looks small, this 23 or 25, you did it manually. If you got your full 2 rotations in, that's 2,000. And say you had 500 Blitz charges, I believe that's like another 400 or something like that. So that's 2,400. If you go into the offer section, to them, I think that's like a $50 value or something.
Oh, let's do both. Let's do both. Look at what we got in offers right now. It's less points than you got.
Yeah.
And that is a $20 offer. And what does 2,000 points get in these A4's milestones?
Well, it's
That's
only
a bunch.
50,000, right?
That's
So
a bunch. Yeah.
It's a big chunk.
That's a big. And it's not even been addressed yet. So will they address this in your opinion?
They kind of have to, because the leaderboards, and if you look at the leaderboards, it's like top 50, they start getting gold promos. So people are going to be heavily spending in this event. Not me, not you, but there's going to be 50 people heavily spending in this event, right? And you have to wonder how
maybe
they
in 51.
feel. Maybe 51, yeah. you gotta wonder how those people are gonna feel, knowing like they may have gotten beaten by 2,000 emblems by somebody who was able to take advantage of this.
Well, it's not gonna do anything really as far as this leaderboard, because if everybody gets it, everybody's just gonna have more stuff. It'll help these milestones,
Yeah.
but giving out rewards to everybody won't help these ranking stuff. It'll just help this section right here.
Yeah,
which
so I
is
guess
fine. Which is fine, I think.
Yeah,
But they should.
it's fine if they give a blanket compensation to everybody, and then that's fine for the vast majority of the gaming community, right?
Yeah.
But then you got to wonder about those heavy spenders, and obviously they want to kind of cater to them. So might they rewind everybody who was able to take advantage of this? I don't think that's
I would say if
now.
they did that on Sunday, that was possible. I'd say at this point now, it would be tough for them to do. You know, with all these days that went by, what was that currency used for? Actually, no, it was just A-Force. I guess they can. I take that back. They can. It's just A-Force emblems.
Yeah.
But if you've gotten a milestone from that and claimed those and used those, I guess that part could be confusing for them.
Yeah, and people did for sure at 2,000 points. People definitely did.
Oh, I would. I would. I'll tell you right now, I would.
But you know what they should do? They should give everybody 10,000 emblems and call it a day, because events should be fun. Make it fun, guys.
Yeah.
Give us free stuff.
Fun. Wait. We're playing Marvel Strike Force. Are we supposed to have fun too, or just grind for rewards?
Yeah.
All right. I know you want to talk about this for a while. A-Force. How good are they in war? As you can see, I've not built them up very much. So I don't really have a good test in war. The only time I was using them was when we got extra points for using them in war. So you have tested them. You have some very strong thoughts on this team in war. What is their viability, brother?
So remember how people felt about Dark Hunters, and it wasn't a great feeling because they struggled with that RNG moment in the Heroes for Hire matchup where Misty would put defense down, then Colleen would come kill that person, the match would fall apart. People didn't like that. A-Force feels like that times 5 because they live and die on Nico's placement of her ultimate and Captain Marvel erasing people. And after that, they're still susceptible to death because they just don't have this sustain that is needed when facing the apex meta D teams like Heroes for Hire, Young Avengers. They're trash. I'm saying too many flowery words for they're trash, and I hate them, and I don't like that I built them all the way up, but I also like that I built them all the way up because they're forcing us to use them in Scourge. I am so conflicted on this team because they seem like they should be fun, but I don't feel like they're performing well unless you put them with Doom. And if a team needs Doom to function, is that team worth it, right?
You can put minions with Doom and he'll still be pretty good.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's yeah.
That's disappointing because their performance that sucks because these are fun characters. Nico's a fun character. Spider-Woman's a fun character. Captain Marvel, Jessica Jones. I think they're fun characters. But immediately when I saw her kit, I was like, oh, it's random and this is a war offense team. Seriously. With war offense, you want consistency. You want to be able to beat that team consistently. With this, it was like sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And for certain game modes, that could be fun, but not war. War is stressful when you lose, like matches that you should win.
But also, in those RNG abilities, and maybe it's a function of my Nico only being 4 red, 4 yellow, not gear tier 15 yet, she's not gear tier 14, but she'll get her ultimate off, she'll get her special off, and then she's going to die. And she's going to die because she has the least life and Colleen's going to just smack her around. Or she's going to die because she got targeted by the Kate Bishop, then gets one shot by a 6 red star gear tier 16 Kate Bishop that a lot of people are going to have because they're building Kate super high for Scourge mode.
Yeah.
Right? So even though that RNG, you shouldn't rely on it because RNG for a war offense team is a dumb thing to fall back on. She won't even get the ability to use those abilities more than one time to activate that RNG. So it's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Well, even the cooldowns are pretty. Yeah, this is a long cooldown. Even without you're doing one per battle. This is a long one per battle. War offense.
Well, with Jessica Jones, you might get 2 off.
Oh yeah, I forgot. She does give out energy.
But now, RNG energy. So not always.
That energy is RNG. There's so much RNG in this team. Now you mentioned Doom as a 5th. And the devs have mentioned Yo-Yo. I know some people are using other characters. What have you found? No 5th.
No Yo-Yo.
No Yo-Yo.
No Yo-Yo.
Okay.
Played around with Yo-Yo, relying on the Yo-Yo interaction with Spider-Woman. Passive that's like a mini blind is.
But that was the recommendation. That was their recommendation, DorkyDad. That was their recommendation. Yo-Yo is who they thought was the best 5th. You're telling me the devs are wrong in their playtesting?
I imagine
is that possible? Is that possible?
Yeah. No, when the devs go to a restaurant and they're about to tip, they roll the dice. They're like, let's see what RNG has for this waiter. And that's how they do things. Everything is RNG with this team. It's just mind-boggling that you would think I'm going to use my very precious war energy on like 5 different stages of RNG with this team against teams that are so established, like Young Avengers and Heroes for Hire, that are built so high for raids with Shang-Chi, or now Scourge for Young Avengers, or people were already building Young Avengers for Crucible, taking out Infinity Watch teams. It's like this team needed to be able to punch up, and you know what? I know exactly how this team could have been made to work. They could have had a line in their code for war offense that read just this: if enemy gets X speed bar, you get X speed bar as well. That's all. And they just need to go first. And
they don't have a 5th. They don't have a maybe when the She-Hulk series comes out, they'll have She-Hulk have that line for all the A-Force and it'll solve it.
That'd be dope.
It would be.
I'd be dope. I'd be down with that.
Do you think that's possible to take She-Hulk from a war defense character to a war offense in one rework?
Sorry, what is She-Hulk for?
She-Hulk's got war defense right now on that Fantastic Four if she's there. Do you think it's possible to take her from that team, war defense, to war offense on the Young Avengers?
I've never heard of this war defense team. Fantastic Four you're talking about. I've never seen
it was pretty strong a few years ago. A few years ago, it was pretty good, but
no,
it wasn't meta. It wasn't meta, but it was pretty good a few years ago.
Look, whatever they can do to admit that Fantastic Four isn't a viable team right now will expedite the process of getting Fantastic Four a different 5th, right? Namor failed to make them fun. She-Hulk failed to make them a defensive force. 3rd time's the charm for Fantastic Four, and that.
We've had the 3rd and 4th with Silver Surfer and Doom. Those are the other rumored ones. They failed on those too.
They did.
All right, let's talk about the next character. Let's not rehash the bad teams. Let's talk about the characters coming up next. Rogue is coming up next. This was announced officially. I think we all knew what Cerebro was hinting at, so we kind of knew, but it was announced officially this past week that Rogue is coming to Marvel Strike Force. What was your reaction when you saw that she would be the 5th and final member of the Unlimited X-Men?
I thought super cool. I've been a big fan of Rogue since X-Men, the animated series in the 90s. They gave her that iconic look, which I think is dope.
Yes.
And if you look at her kit, it really was okay. Thank God her kit is this bonkers, because the other unlimited members right now are kind of underwhelming. But this is crazy.
Gambit's pretty strong.
Gambit's strong, but Dazzler and Phantom, I don't know his name. They seemed very underwhelming to me.
They're on the team. They're on the team. They're on the good team.
Yeah. They do things for the team, but not fun things. And Rogue with this special, that's pretty fun.
So when I first saw this, I was like, oh no, Crucible defense. As I read down, there's nothing else that said Crucible defense. And when I read what this does on the special, it's just getting the person with the highest speed bar. So I think it's giving you the option, if you want to play some war defense, this special can be used on the correct person. 2 out of 2 cooldown on this. That means Gambit has no cooldown in the special. You could do the basic and special. Rogue, 2 and cooldown. You're going to be special all the time pretty much with her. Off the top of your head, looking at this kit, any viability outside of Crucible for Rogue and possibly Gambit? Maybe the raids? Are they a Doom raid mutant solution?
Well, that's what people are leaning towards, right? And I hope so.
I'm hoping for that.
Yeah, like I think right now for me, the mutant nodes 1 and 2, I got them set. There can be a spike moment of RNG every other day that can cause a headache, and that kind of sucks. So if they can fix that, fantastic. But more importantly, if they can fix the whole controlling Doom on the boss node, so you can one-shot that boss node, I think that would be incredible, right? And with the ability block from Gambit, hopefully that's the case. We're going to see there's obviously that insane resist check that Doom on that node has. Yeah. But combine that with what Rogue is bringing, I think it's possible. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
So maybe Gambit, Rogue, Beast, Bishop, and Jubilee.
Yeah, Jubilee would for sure make it. Beast would for sure make it. Bishop is the only character that I would kind of look sideways at, which is kind of awkward, right?
Who would you use instead of him?
I think towards like Omega Red, Emma, characters like that. Not even on the Astonishing team, but without having my hands on it, it's kind of difficult.
We're going to talk about this in a little bit, but Datamines indicate a lot of rating with these X-Men coming up, so good stuff. Maybe. We'll all right, the next character coming. We got the in-game mail, Fantomex coming to Marvel Strike Force. Is it Fantomex? Did I pronounce that wrong? I thought I pronounced it right.
I just completely forgot his name earlier. And I was okay, Fantomex. Yeah.
He has an event coming up. To catch a thief event, these are usually pretty friendly. You're going to need certain traits. I can't remember. The Debonair trait is what you're going to need to do this event. And if we look at the Datamines, let me go to the Datamines real quick. It looks like this event is starting on May 27th. Which is next Friday. Are you even gonna sweat this thing? Is this, you look at your Debonair characters and it's like, just auto. Or with these new heroic difficulties, is this gonna present a little more of a challenge, you think?
I haven't actually looked at the trait yet because I'm so unworried about it based on what Doctor Strange Heartless campaign was like. Yeah. I was worried about it for that campaign, and then it was auto 10 seconds and I was done. All
right, let's check it out. See if you have any characters. We got Nico, so some RNG, brother.
Fine.
So we got Sinister, so you could clone whatever character there. Heartless Doctor Strange, who probably already have built. These are some good characters. These are easy characters.
Yeah.
You got a Madeline who might. Yeah, this is easy. These are good characters. This is auto day one. Yeah. Even with the new difficulty, I think so. All right, so not too worried about it. Anything else about Fantomex? So you didn't like his kit a lot. Do you think he'll have a lot of value for this team, or he's just someone that's gonna be on the team?
Well, he's like the tank, and he's giving defense down, and he's doing a bunch of retaliation damage that also, I assume, are going to put defense down based on his ISO attack. So he looks intriguing. It looks, even though I believe he's a blaster. Yeah, he's a blaster. I think he's just going to be setting up Gambit and Rogue to be nuking people when he gives them defense down. And then I think he does some dodging stuff, or maybe that's Dazzler. I'm confusing the two. But like you were saying earlier, he's just part of the team for me right now. I'm not super excited about him. Looking at his kit didn't make me want to go read a comic book about him. So
basically what you're saying, the best thing about his kit is this unlimited X-Men tag, putting him on the team.
Yep.
That's what makes him value. I might agree with you on that. All right. New event. We got a ton of them going on right now. This one is the Wong event with some pretty decent rewards. What do you think of the rewards for this Wong event, brother?
Yeah, I think they're great, especially the T4 ability material and the promo credits. I'm starving for promo credits after having to try and bring characters up that I get bad red star rolls on, which I know you know the feeling very well. So.
I know it very well. I don't even get them to pop up on my store though, so I don't even get luck with that. But yeah, decent stuff here. Wong shards. We got a lot of these A-Force emblems. Way less than 2,000, or maybe 2,000 for this whole freaking event. Decent stuff here though. And this one, you need to open a lot of Phantasm orbs. It doesn't look like you're going to complete this without spending money. But the other one, the Ancient Arts milestone, looks like you can complete this. Get the Wong uniform, grind out a lot of Blitz, grind out a lot of Arena. And there's also Web milestone going on right now. Why is this another event that they're giving us that is not finishable? Despite some good rewards in the other events, I mean, would it make sense, you think, in your opinion, to have them just do more completion events that everybody complete just because it feels good, whereas these, they don't feel as good, even if it's like really, really outside rewards that we would normally pay for, just the structure of it. He's like, this sucks. I can't complete this.
Yeah, I mean, between the web store and the milestones you're looking at right now, I think you get up to 37 or 27 on the chosen one.
I know the amount that you need left over is 22. You need 22 orbs after both the milestones to complete this whole thing. So you have enough, okay. And there's 80 that you need to open for the chosen one milestone. So whatever 80 minus 22 is what you're going to get from both this Ancient Arts and the web milestones. Yeah, but I don't remember. Right. So actually, you know what? I do have all the calculations. I got them right here. Here they are. So yeah, you're getting 33 from the these orbs there. And I believe you're getting. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What do you think? What do you think about another event that you can't complete though without purchasing event? Yeah, purchasing
that's the
stuff.
Main point here, I guess.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate that they think because we're so close to the bottom of those milestones, it's going to increase the FOMO, and people are going to be like, "Oh, I only need 20 more orbs, and I'll get that. So let me go buy what they think is worth $160, right?" I think it was 26,000, which breaks down to 13 orbs, was $80 Canadian, so it's like $50 American. I hate that they feel the need to do that, and they should know. The super whales, the Krakens who are going to be enticed to do this, they'll buy all that stuff if you just put it in an offer. Get it out of the events, get it out of our face. Yeah. Let us enjoy the game, enjoy the events. Milk the Krakens where you're supposed to milk them, you know? Milk them in the offer section. So
I think without the offers or without purchasing, you could complete milestone 28, which means that this Wong, this Lattice, this T4s, all this other stuff is pretty much what the $80 is giving you. And I agree. They should just put all this stuff, milestone 29 and 30, into extra stuff. Whales are going to buy that anyway. And people that aren't going to buy anything, they'll feel good. Like, yes, I freaking grinded and I got all these milestones because I grinded. You know how good that feels for me when I'm done with this blitzing. But even if I blitz a crazy amount, I'm still not going to get these last two. So I like that idea. Just put it in an offer. You know, it's going to cost them the same. They're still going to get the same value. But from a psychological perspective for the normal players like us, we got a good feeling instead of a bad feeling after this event. Yeah, I like that.
I play with a lot of Krakens. If they saw 250 T4s, that kind of teal gear, and maybe you bump that up to 35 Wong shards, whatever, they're going to snatch that up. It's not going to matter to them. They're going to snatch it up. The fact that it's at the bottom of a milestone where we're going to be at 13,700, the average player is not going to look at that and say, "Oh, I only need another 1,000 points. I only need another 5 or 6 Wong orbs. Let me go drop $20 on that." I just don't like that mentality they're putting forth.
No, I think most players agree that that's not a good psychological thing, even though, you know, they just format it differently. I don't think people get that FOMO that Scopely's wanting us to get now. They just get mad. It's like, I can't finish this.
Yeah, especially as a veteran player, we're getting more burnout than FOMO at this point from it.
Yeah, I agree. All right. But it's not all bad because we did get another farmable character this week. Lady Deathstrike added yesterday to Mystic 3-6. How good is that? Finally, we're getting some farmable characters. I mean, it's what, 6 months overdue, but we're finally getting them. How excited are you that they got this announcement that these characters, Deathstrike, Shang-Chi, Icarus, Cersei, Magic, Ghost, Spider, Spider-Punk, and Star-Lord, should become farmable the next few weeks and next few months?
Yeah, soon. Yeah. I'll try and stay positive here. I'm super happy they're starting with Lady Deathstrike. I think she's an amazing character. She's super vital in Tech 2.3 if you're not using her there because you don't have her built up yet. This is a great time to start. You can get the stars on her and go from there. She's pivotal in like the best war offensive team with her speed and speed meter rewind. She's amazing everywhere in the game. So the fact that they're putting her on an early node in Mystic 3.6, I think that's great. I commend them for that choice instead of putting her in like Doom, whatever the newest campaign
or the
is.
stupid War Store, Arena Orb, or something stupid like that. This was a good choice.
Yeah, I think this was a good move by them. So they get like they get one.
Okay, they get one. Now, how many negatives do they have to make up for all these past months of not really farmable characters?
They would like literally.
How much of a deficit are they in right now?
I think one character a week is what they would need to do to catch up, right? To get back on track.
I mean, honestly, all of these characters should have been farmable by now. Really? Yeah. What was the most recent one? Was probably Star-Lord T'Challa. That was January. We're now we're in May. So
yeah.
Come on, Scopely.
Yeah, they're gonna drop out of the meta before they're farmable at this rate.
How valuable do you think she is? How valuable do you think Lady Deathstrike is for newer players? Because I know for me, as doing a lot of endgame content, very, very valuable, especially in the tech section of Doom. I'm using her Dark Dimension, and she's on the best war offense team in the game. So what is the value for newer and mid game players for Lady Deathstrike?
Well, especially in the mid game, you should be eyeing who you're bringing into the end game on your journey to get there, right? Lady Deathstrike, she has that turn meter rewind, and she's quick, like I just said. So she's gonna be relevant going forward, even after Weapon X drops off with that special that you're hovering right now.
That's the best. That's my favorite move she does.
Yeah, and it's on a low cooldown.
Yeah.
You can use it every second turn, every third turn, whatever it is.
And sometimes you pair her with people that give her ability energy, so you're boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
I love this move.
Exactly. And if she gets a kill, she's gonna repeat. She's an amazing character at any stage of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, great value for everyone.
So as soon as you get to Mystic 6, no matter what point in the game you are, recommending people just farm her, build her.
Yeah. That 100 energy is very well spent on her every day.
All right, I like that recommendation. All right, but we talked about this. We talked about the other characters that they're talking about, right? Becoming farmable. But what kind of gave me a little pause that they're gonna add these in the next few weeks, in the next few months. When do you think they're gonna add these? Do you think it's gonna be closer to the next 2-3 months, or is this gonna be extended to the end of the year? There it is. In the next coming weeks and months. What do you think this time frame is that they're talking about here?
I hope not. Look, the way that they've set up the Crucible store, how there's no character shards in it, I think we should expect these to be coming every second week. We should get a new character farmable until they're caught up. Maybe they'll do every 3 weeks, but it's not going to be like it was by reading what they're putting down here. And if it is, then, as envoys, it's our job to go yell at them about fulfilling their commitment here. Yeah,
that's what they said, right? They need us to call them out on their stuff, and this is one I think they forgot. By the way of this, we shift away from releasing characters. They have to reevaluate because of the legendary events and things like that. I think they just forgot to make these characters farmable. They just got busy with stuff. Is that your interpretation as well?
I have no idea. How could you forget to release characters to make them we're yelling at Tana was yelling at you guys for so long about it. Like, come on.
I mean, when it happened in December, I was like, what is this crap? And it happened again in January. I mean, we were it's been for a while, but I guess there's so many other bugs, so many other issues. It's so frequently that these bugs come up, so consistently these bugs, and we're like, oh, we got to put out this fire. Oh, we got to put out this fire. Like, oh shoot, we haven't been releasing characters, and no, that's what I think happened.
think what you meant to say is there's so many ways to make money that doesn't involve farmability.
Oh, I gotta put in the CM hat there. One big character missing. Scarlet Spider. How do you think he's gonna be farmed, or is he gonna be like the Cull that's not farmable for a year and a half, and he's gonna be why newer players struggle with that Web Warrior team?
I hope not. What I'm hoping is this means that he's going to be going into the premium orb at the very worst. I mean, I don't hope that, but that's what I'm taking from this.
Well, if that means Deathpool or Kestrel coming out and making them farmable in a nice way, that's not the worst. But I don't know if you remember, he was released in Pocket Dimension. So hard to get the shards for him, and the easy characters, Ghost Spider, Spider Punk, they're going to become farmable. I guess they did have a plan on Scarlet Spider holding his.
The fact that he's not on there tells me that there's something yucky coming down, which means premium orb to me.
Not the worst if somebody comes out though and it becomes farmable. Yeah. All right, Mojos Mayhem. We have a new thing now. When I've talked to you previously, you said this is something that you purchased just because it has such value. Now we're getting characters, not just costumes. They're going back to character shards. Echo. Kate Bishop. Echo was very, very unfriendly as how she was released, and Kate Bishop was a Blitz release character. But Miss Marvel was also on there. There's some controversy of whether she should or should not be included in this. What does this say to you as someone that purchases these strike passes and battle passes on almost a monthly basis?
It's the same thing that when they did Misty in the current Battle Pass or whatever it was. Exactly. It's like these are farmable characters at this point, and you're not asking. It's expected at endgame that you're buying this to keep up with building characters. Throwing on, and Misty's kind of a new-ish character, not really anymore. Miss Marvel's like way old.
Year one, maybe. Was she year one or early in year two?
Maybe earlier too. I don't quite remember. In my opinion, she has absolutely no place on here. The counter argument is, newer players, they may not have her maxed out.
The Disney Plus series probably. Maybe it's probably for the Disney Plus, right?
Like I understand the arguments, but even just where she's farmable, she's also pretty early in the Mystic campaign, I believe. So in this pass, I don't think a character like her has any business being here. And it's like you said, Echo and Kate, not the friendliest release methods, especially Echo.
Echo is one of the worst. My goodness, I still remember that horrible mirror image of it. I still remember the name because it's so bad.
Yeah, so like the idea that Miss Marvel is going to be taking spots where Echo and Kate shards could have been doesn't sit well with me, and I don't think it sits well with many other people.
What would be a good shard amount for Echo and Kate Bishop? 50 each, 100 each for them to include Miss Marvel and you to be okay with it. What is for that $20? How many shards of Echo and Kate and the new Miss Marvel costume? What is a good amount for you for that $20?
Well, typically they've done 100 shards, so I kind of assume that's going to be split between the three people. And I don't know, like obviously that's an odd number with three people, but I assume it's going to be something like that. Whereas I think Miss Marvel should just kick rocks and it should be 50 for Echo, 50 for Kate. But if they want to be cool,
what if it was? What if it was 50-50-50?
Well, then cool.
Okay, if they do that, no problem with it.
Yeah, no, because that would be in line with what a strike pass used to be, right?
Okay,
100 new character shards, and then you throw in Miss Marvel there. I don't know why you would, but they throw.
I don't like buying these, but if they did that, I probably would buy those. If they gave 50-50-50, I probably would as well. All right. Are you ready? Well, there's a new Marvel game coming out. Do you think this one's going to be better or worse than Future Rev?
I think being worse than Future Rev would be pretty difficult.
Actually, Future Rev was fun in the first couple weeks. It's after you started grinding and kept going and have to replay the story over and over and making no progress. That's when it got grinded. But the first couple weeks of Future Rev was fun. All right, so let's look at this now. Let me mute this so this doesn't pass. So I have not seen this. I know you have seen this. Does this look fun? Look at the graphics on this? This is a mobile game. Do you think this is going to be it's a card collecting game, action packed card collecting game. So do you think this is gonna be like Super War, or this will be maybe closer to Puzzle Quest? Is this actual gameplay or these CGI cutscenes that we're looking at?
I believe this is a CGI cutscene similar to like the Ghost Spider one that we saw where she was swinging through the city and all the web warriors were around. I think it's something like that.
Galactus is in this.
Look at the way his body is, though. He looks like a bobblehead.
Oh, jeez. Oh my goodness! I didn't. Oh my! What the heck? What is this? What? Wait, do we actually see some gameplay, or is this all we see? Just the cutscenes here. This looks like an intro. This looks like an intro movie.
Yeah, I think this is the intro movie.
Okay, Hulk. Is that Hulk? Is that looks Hulkbuster and Groot, or is that? Oh, it's like a T'Challa, Hulkbuster, Black Panther.
I mean,
look at the Galactus. What the heck? All right, Snap. Maybe like Marvel Super War, a card collecting game. What is your hype level right now based on the trailer?
I didn't know it was a card collecting game. It's it just dropped off quite a bit.
Okay.
From what it was.
I'm at like a 4 right now. I'm not at a hype level 10, but I'm at like a hype level 4 right now.
I can sit there with you.
Okay.
I'll be up 4 with you. Yeah.
Nice. All right, we got some Datamines here. Actually, we got a Rumble Blitz coming. Let's talk about the Rumble Blitz before we talk about the Datamines. Rumble Blitz is coming back this week. No gold though. A-Force emblems, basic orbs, Legacy 1, Legacy 2, Mega orbs. Where the heck did the gold go? I thought last week was a step in the right direction. We're getting the gold back in these Rumble Blitzes, but it's indicated no gold in this week's Rumble Blitz. And we're going to go take a look at the Datamines as well. The Wave 1 Avengers, it doesn't look like there's gold either. So what happened to the gold? Or maybe this was miscommunicated again and we actually are getting gold and I'm getting all worked up over nothing.
Well, I never take the blog as like written law. So I assume there's going to be gold in here, and this was probably drafted up before they made that change after the outrage. I think it's going to be back. I hope it's back. Otherwise, let's repeat that outrage and get it going again, right?
All right. I hope you're right. I hope Cerebro forgot something again, and this time it's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, Datamines say the same thing. The Datamines say this: A-Force emblems, Blitz credits, basic orbs, Legacy 1, and then we go to next week where Wave 1 Avengers are required. A-Force emblems, Blitz credits, T1, T2, L1 ions, T1, T2 basic ISO 8 orbs. No gold. How salty would you be? How outraged would you be? How much trash would you talking to the devs in the Envoy chat if both of these have no gold after they made that announcement? Was oh, we screwed up. We didn't put the good rewards in that first Rumble Blitz. We'll got you guys. And then they do this for the third and the fourth one.
Yep. I'll get a little sassy. I'll throw some sassy memes in there on the Envoy chat if there's no gold and they don't fix it up.
As much as I want gold as a player, I'm kind of looking forward to see that sass. So I want to see what's going to happen. All right.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully, we will find out today when this one goes live if there's actually gold in there or if we should get our pitchforks and stuff like that. All right, more Datamines though. There's more Datamines.
All right. Sister
Grimm, aka Nico Minoru, the RNG. Yeah. Is she a blaster? Whatever she is. The RNG character in the game. All right. You have to. This looks like some events that we've had. It looks like a Madeline Pryor event.
Yeah.
Where you win raid battles, alliance war battles, and complete raid battles and fight in wars. So it looks like there's this set of milestones that we have to complete. War battles, raid battles, all that stuff. It looks like there's another milestone event associated with this Enchanted Bloodline where you got to get blitz battles. So more blitz grinding. Let me just ask you before we move on. This current milestone that we have, 3.5 rotations. Some of the previous ones, 8 rotations to complete the milestones. What do you think is going to happen with this Nico when it comes out? 3 rotations, 4 rotations, 8 rotations.
What was Madeline?
Madeline was 8. Madeline was 8. Wong is 3.5. And Agatha was 8 also.
I assume a mirror of Madeline if it's going to be a similar release method.
It hurts because I think you might be right, unfortunately. All right, and then X-Men allies. If you win these raid battles with X-Men, so I guess all the astonishing X-Men have that X-Men tag, so you should be good on that one, right? Just make sure you get in the mutant lane.
Yeah, like I think this part is going to happen pretty normally, right? It's going to be the war battle with A-Force if you don't have them built. And then the amount of blitzing you have to do for that other one, it's going to be the determining factor if this event kind of sucks or if it's okay.
Now, for Blitz, Young Avengers is a team that you want geared if you want to score those higher points. And if it was like the Madden one, these things stack. So you get the points for, if you get the points for 15, you'll also get the points for 14, 13, and so on and so on. That's how it was in the Madden one. Hopefully it'll be that way in this one as well.
I'm so fresh because they're encouraging again to build your Young Avengers bigger, which is going to make your A-Force team suck more.
Wait, but they're also encouraging you to build your A-Force too. So it's just boom, head to head all the time.
Yeah, just build everything to the max, I guess. I don't know.
That's what you got to do in this game. I mean, how many characters have we had to upgrade based on all their reworks? I mean, Star-Lord T'Challa was 5 characters that you had to build up to that team to work. Magic was 5 characters for that team to work. And then so on. That's how the year started. We're just getting a bunch of reworks and having to build a lot of characters. All right, last one on this Datamine for this Nico event. Runaway spell, spending campaign energy. I'm thinking this is going to be the web milestones that we get. Right. So my recommendation right now, guys, save your web rewards. Don't spend that campaign energy. And you may want to save your in-game currency for that campaign energy as well for this event. All right, timing of this. At least according to the blog post, or at least the Datamines, we have the event starting on the 27th for Fantomex. Wong's event is ending on Tuesday. So my guess for this is Tuesday. What are you guessing for this?
Yeah, I think we might get a day break, maybe Wednesday.
I hope not. I want more A4 shards. I hope as soon as Wong goes down, this goes up, and we can continue with our blitz grinding.
Maybe, well, that's how they have been doing it, right?
They want us to constantly blitz.
Yeah.
We don't get breaks. So, all right. Tuesday is my guess. I think and then Friday for Fantomex. I had trouble remembering his name also. All right.
Are you concerned about cores though? Because this is going to be running alongside the Fantomex campaign, right? So if you need energy for this,
where will you use your campaign energy? I don't know. We'll see what these are. Usually the web reward. I say usually. This one is friendly. The last one wasn't as friendly though. So we'll see what these web ones. We may just be able to spend our normal energy. And yeah, I'm assuming this is the web one.
Yeah, good call. Hopefully you're right.
We'll see what happens. Well, I'm hoping I'm right as well. But the good stuff. All right. She-Hulk had a trailer drop. Were you able to watch this?
Yeah.
All right. This is coming out in August. What is your hype level for She-Hulk coming to Disney Plus?
Okay. I'm gonna enjoy this show.
Look at the calves. Look at the muscles.
Yeah, she lifts for sure. Like a solid 7. Like if No Way Home was a 10, this is a solid 7. Not that I don't appreciate what the show is gonna bring, but it doesn't have that epic level. I think it's still gonna be fun though.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun show. How much are you looking forward to this compared to the Marvels that are coming out also on Disney Plus?
I haven't heard or seen of the Marvels.
Oh, that one's actually come out before this. So.
Okay, that's the Miss Marvel show, right?
Yeah. I think the Miss Marvel show. Yeah, I think the Marvels is a movie, but the Miss Marvel show is coming out on Disney Plus.
Okay, that one I'm pretty hyped for actually, because it gave me very much Scott Pilgrim Against the Universe vibes.
Okay.
With the comic book writing popping up and stuff. I thought that was really cool. I'm a man-child at heart, so I think the Miss Marvel one might be. I think
all of us playing Marvel Strike Force are, to be honest, but.
Fair enough.
All right. So when she's angry, her shirt doesn't rip off. Her shoes go off. I mean, and so typically in the comics, Bruce is her cousin. Do you think that's going to be the case in the series?
Yeah, I think they're going to go verbatim what the comic books is. I don't think people are saying like she put herself through this on purpose. I don't think so. I think there was going to be some kind of accident where she needed that blood transfusion and then they grabbed it from Bruce when he wasn't paying attention and it's accidental and he's trying to help guide her through it. I think that's what it's going to be like.
What do you think of this scene? There's memes all about this scene, her carrying him. Where I'm assuming is the bedroom. Could be throwing him out of the house though, but what do you think of this scene?
It's a goofy scene. It's harmless, right?
I think it's a fun show. Show. Looking forward to this.
In the comics, there's a very comedic feel to the She-Hulk story, so I don't mind it. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is part of the political correct culture or whatever you want to associate that with. To me, I'm just like, it looks fun.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm having
gonna be
fun. My daughters like it. I like it. It's cool.
That's it. It's just gonna be a great show to watch with my wife.
Yeah.
Like Moon Knight, she was kind of like, okay. But She-Hulk, she'll get a kick out of it. She'll laugh. She'll associate more with it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I think the kids will like the Miss Marvel one as well. I think that one seems like it's more aimed towards kids, so that should be enjoyable. All right, and last, now Multiverse of Madness, I do want to discuss that with you because I did discuss that last week. I do want to get your reaction to it. So guys, spoiler warning right now. You can skip ahead to the next section. There are timestamps in the description. We're gonna talk about Multiverse of Madness. So if you have not seen Doctor Strange 2, now's the time that you want to click away. All right, 3, 2, 1. What did you think of Multiverse of Madness, DorkyDad?
So as far as a film goes, I thought it was a great film. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was really epic what they did with Scarlet Witch, how badass she was. And at the same time, I hated it because of where it brought the Scarlet Witch, because I love that character. And I think they gave her no redeeming qualities. Even at the end, her motivation to not do this anymore was selfish. And it appears like she's gone, and then maybe we'll see a different version of Scarlet Witch from the multiverse.
Here's how I took it. It's kind of like Ring with Gollum, right? That Ring possessed him and made him the evil character. I was thinking she's a good character, but she got possessed by the Darkhold in the 616, and that's why she was evil. So now that she's not with the Darkhold anymore, it's destroyed. Maybe she's back to good and she could be redeemed, or maybe she's dead and we're gonna follow the other Scarlet Witch all the other verse. No.
There's no coming back from making Black Bolt blow his own brains out, peeling apart Mr. Fantastic like string cheese, cutting Peggy Carter in half. There's no coming back for this character. She was such a good character. She had the most development in the MCU besides Peter Parker, in my opinion, and they just made her evil. There's no redemption for that.
All right, let me try to play devil's advocate. What if the future story is in? We were talking before that, before this. I think the other one is 758 or 85, whatever the older one with the Black Bolt. What if the Scarlet Witch is in that universe now? That's the one we follow in the MCU. The one that killed Professor X, killed Mr. Fantastic, killed Black Bolt. How are they gonna get back at her? This seemingly innocent Scarlet Witch that was possessed by the evil Scarlet Witch. Do you think they're going out that direction with the MCU?
That could be something, but that's no longer my Scarlet Witch. My Scarlet Witch was the one who had the Sokovia incident, the one who had the WandaVision show. When she had those kids and she had to give them up to stop, messing with that town. I thought that was a beautiful sacrifice, and I was rooting for that character, that Wanda Maximoff, to eventually, even if it's through magical means, to magic up her kids. To maybe they went the Mephisto route. I wanted that version of Wanda to have an epic story where she got what she wanted. Because to your point earlier, the Ring, Frodo, he got his happy ending. He didn't fall into the lava like Gollum did, right? Because we were invested in Frodo. We weren't exactly invested in Gollum.
Yeah,
I wanted her to overcome whatever happened. But when she sealed Black Bolt's mouth and his head blew up, it was like, all right, I guess that's it.
I don't know. I think she could still be redeemed. She did all this evil stuff, but I'm thinking she was possessed, and now she's, what the hell was I doing? Why did I do that? You think even with that, they cannot redeem her in the MCU? She's already made it past that point of no return for you?
They can go to a different multiverse, like you're saying, the 7 whatever one, and they could have a story where she's like, that wasn't me, I was being controlled. They can make a story around her and her kids story, and stuff like that. Too. That could be dope. Elizabeth Olsen as an actress is just dope. I'm just bummed out that my Scarlet Witch from the original MCU,
bad guy now,
the mega bad guy now, and
it's a cool bad guy to have though.
Oh, she was so incredible. She stole the movie, right? Like the whole time is like, oh my God, Scarlet Witch is on the show. The way there's no redeeming for this character, when she looked at Mr. Fantastic and said, is their mother alive? He said yes. And she replied, good, there'll be somebody left for them or whatever. And then she string cheesed him. Like, oh my God. My wife, when we were sitting in the theaters, she's used to like vanilla Marvel, and she was like, oh no.
Yeah, this is a Marvel horror movie. This is a horror movie.
Yeah,
this is not
sure.
Fun popcorn. I guess it's fun popcorn, but it's a horror, fun comedic horror movie, like Sam Raimi normally does.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, Doctor Strange is dope. His character's dope. No other way around it.
I like him.
And
What
Wong.
about Wong?
Wong in the opening fight with the eyeball, with the spinning and the laser show and everything. I was like, Wong's a badass. Let's go.
Wong's gonna be in every Phase 4 movie, brother.
Yeah, he's a badass.
He's in every Phase 4 movie.
Yeah.
He's in every one.
I'm down with that.
That's all I got, brother. Anything else before we wrap up here?
No, this has been great. I know this feels a little bit longer than the last couple ones.
It's only 4 minutes longer than we normally go. So yeah, I always have fun because we're talking about movies so much. All right, but that is it. Let everybody know where they can find you, and if you have anything coming up that you want to promote, my brother.
You can check me out on twitch.tv/dorky_dad or youtube.com/DorkyDadMSF. Or you can just check me on the Discord. I'll give Valley the link. He can.
Yeah, you don't have to remember all those. Just go to the description, click a link, and go check him out on all those things. Thank you once again, my brother. It's always fun talking to you. These are fun conversations, and I'm glad we look at Marvel Strike Force with in the same way. We try to have fun despite what Scopely does.
There's fun in there. You got to look. It's there. There's fun there.
Pocket dimensions of fun in Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah, they come every 4 months, but they're fun.
Just stop the bugs, and we'll see what kind of game we have without bugs. I mean, I'm curious to see if we could go like 3 months without bugs, what kind of game we would have and what the state of the game would be. But that's where we're at right now, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, hit that notification bell so you know as soon as a new video is uploaded. We got a lot of great sponsors in the description. Amazon Coins, Worldwide Nutrition, all that good stuff, guys. Make sure you check out those links. It can save you some money and does support the channel. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully I see you on Twitter. Hopefully I see you in the Valley Club in the Morning stream on Twitch. But have a great rest of your day. Dorky, you ready for the fist bump? There it is. Hulk fist bump. DorkyDad and ValleyFlyin out. Have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated, stay pumped.